Mass shootings are a horrifying but real problem that affects us as people in the world today. These massacres are conducted by people whose misfortunes and hardships brought them to think that murdering innocent people was the way to handle it. Sadly, shootings are common right now, more common than ever, and it's a threat that everybody has to be alert for. Although everybody denies it, it could happen anywhere. Author Mariki Nickamp depicted one of these terrifying events in her gut-wrenching novel, This Is Where It Ends. The novel follows the victims of a school shooting in Opportunity, Alabama. The gunman, Senior Tyler Brown, grew angry as he felt his classmates were neglecting him, and he was growing frustrated with himself and, more so, frustrated with everyone around him. At the start of a new semester at Opportunity High School during an assembly in the school's auditorium, Tyler Brown was at his breaking point and decided to take out his anger and frustration the most horrifying and unthinkable way. When Tyler opened fire on his school that fateful day, the results were devastating. 39 people were killed, and so many others were left with both mental and physical damage. Tyler's motives for this tragedy were dated back for many years, with events including the death of his mother, an abusive dad, and a history of bullying and neglect from his peers.
In the novel This Is Where It Ends, depressive behaviors, neglect, and bullying lead Tyler to feel like killing his peers was the only way to coherently handle his problems.
Growing up, Tyler had a broken relationship with his family. His sister Autumn is one of the four narrators of the novel. When the two siblings were younger, their mother, whom they were both really close to, passed away. Their father, unable to handle the grief of losing his wife, became abusive and chose alcohol as his way to cope with it. Despite both of those things, Autumn and Tyler were able to keep their close bond. In one of her narrated sections, Autumn describes their relationship by saying, "My brother, the one who cared for my bruises when Dad couldn't control his grief, who helped me dance in secret. Even after everything he's done, he is my home." Despite the fact that Tyler seemed to always get the brunt of every argument and dealt with a lot, he was always able to look after his younger sister. He dealt with physical and verbal abuse from his dad and the everlasting pain of losing his mother, and still managed to push through it. That is until it all got too much for him and he began growing distant from his sister and no longer sticking up for her passion and love for dance. For a while, he was always protective and supportive towards his sister, and suddenly he became distant, cold, and just plain spiteful towards his sister. His dad's anger and constant torture became too much for him and was one of the reasons he felt that killing and injuring so many people would be the right answer.
Each of the four main narrators play a role in Tyler's mental decline and the array of mental illness that he eventually succumbs to. Sylvia, who's the girlfriend of Tyler's sister Autumn, is the person who caused the start of the wedge that gets shoved between the two siblings. Tyler is hateful towards Sylvia and doesn't approve of the relationship that she has with Autumn. He's angry that his sister chose that lifestyle. A year or so before the shooting took place at the school's prom, Tyler cornered Sylvia and began taunting her and belittling her. He even went as far as trying to force himself on her just to make her suffer. Tyler tells Sylvia that she is corrupting his sister and would do whatever it would take to make sure she stayed away from Autumn and the rest of his family. Sylvia went into defense mode and began yelling at Tyler, telling him that he doesn't know the first thing about family and that he doesn't deserve the one that he has. The words that Sylvia chose to use brought conflict to Tyler's thoughts. After the confrontation, he began becoming resentful and began to ponder the words that Sylvia chose. Did he know anything about family? Sylvia chose to never tell Autumn about Tyler confronting her, but made it known she didn't like Tyler. This silent hatred caused Autumn to pick sides, and of course she picked her girlfriend. This made Tyler feel even more alone, neglected, and depressed.
Claire, a student at Opportunity High, as well as an all-state track athlete, a junior ROTC captain, and the ex-girlfriend of Tyler, plays another important role to Tyler's decreasing mental state. The night of the prom, when Tyler had cornered Sylvia, Claire was doing her duty as a guard at prom, making sure that everything went smoothly and no one was hurt, when she came across Tyler trying to kiss Sylvia in the back corner of this room. After this night, Claire broke up with Tyler, adding on to the loneliness he was already feeling. During the shooting at her high school, Claire was outside of the school with her track team, running warm-ups and going through a regular track practice. Once the shooting began, the team knew that they were probably the only ones who could do something to try and stop it before it got worse than it already was. When Claire and some other students got around to the front of the school, she saw Tyler's car and looked inside. Bullets, extra guns, and gun cases were sprawled all over, leading Claire to realize that the boy she once called the love of her life is now responsible for the deaths of many of her peers. As Claire realizes this, she thinks back to a night many months ago when her and Tyler were still dating and how infatuated he was with her. He said to her, "I won't let the army steal my girl and force her to be someone she doesn't want to be." Claire reflects on how toward the end of their relationship, Tyler became controlling, trying to control the relationship as well as her future and what she wanted to do. This, combined with Tyler being a jerk towards Silvia, is why Claire decided to break up with Tyler. This was one of the final straws for Tyler. The girl that he loved and wanted to spend forever with had left him, and he was all alone.
The fourth and final narrator of the story is Tomas, the twin sibling of Silvia. Tyler and Tomas would get into scuffles and fights because Tyler hated Silvia and her entire family and was always trying to stir up trouble with them. Besides that, though, Tomas is just another one with the crowd. Before the first semester of his senior year, Tyler made the decision to drop out of high school due to the fact that he felt unwanted and not welcomed by his peers. Constant torture and bullying, done by not only Tomas, but many other students at Opportunity High School, twisted Tyler into thinking he needed revenge. When he comes back to the school and begins his shooting rampage, he made it very clear to all his victims that he felt unappreciated at school and he wanted himself to be known. He wanted everyone at Opportunity to remember him, and he wanted them to pay for the years of bullying and torture that they put him through.
Due to the ruthless amounts of bullying, family issues, and troubles with life in general, high school student Tyler Brown decided to gun down and kill 39 students and teachers at Opportunity High School. The evidence presented all throughout the book and examples of hardships given to the readers by the four narrators gives an insight to all the troubles that Tyler ensues, leading him to his awful decision.